Good morning, students. This is the second video of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Yesterday, I had uploaded one video in which we had read till page number 21. So, today we are going to start from page number 21 again. So, last time, where we had finished the chapter, the ship had entered the evil channel, isn't it? The ship had entered the evil channel. So today we are going to start from this particular portion. There the Nautilus struck a coral reef off the coast of an island. Okay, from this part of page number 21 in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea we will start today. There the Nautilus struck, I'm again repeating page number 21 of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and go to the middle portion of the chapter. There the Nautilus struck a coral reef off the coast of an island. So when the ship, whose name was Nautilus, when the submarine entered the evil channel, after that the submarine struck, the word struck means hit. The submarine hit a coral reef. Now coral reefs are actually big parts of rocks, shells which are found underwater. So the submarine hit a coral reef off the coast of an island, means near the shore of an island, near the coast of an island or near the shore of an island there was a coral reef, and Nautilus just hit that coral reef. She was so well built that she suffered no damage, and any ordinary ship would have sunk at this point of time. Any ordinary ship would have taken a lot of damage at this point of time. At this point of time, any ordinary ship would have, totally been damaged. But because Nautilus is a very strongly built, a very powerful ship, that's why the heat did not have any impact whatsoever on the ship. If we cannot refloat, you may have to leave on land again, I said to Captain Nemo. The tides in the Pacific are not very strong. So the narrator told Captain Nemo that if we cannot refloat means if we cannot again make the ship to work again, right? If we cannot make the ship to go to the surface and float, then what we have to do, we have to leave on the land again, right? Means we cannot use the submarine anymore. Why? It is because that the tides in the Pacific are not very strong. Tides, bar, right? You know this. High tide is there, low tide is there, but the tides that are there in the Pacific Ocean, they are not very strong, according to our narrator. Captain Nemo gave me a curious look. So Captain Nemo was very surprised. Okay, he was very surprised. In 5 days' time, there will be a full moon, he said. I expect the water to rise high enough to float us again. We shall leave exactly at 2:35. So he said that in 5 days' time, right? In 5 days, what will happen? There will be a full moon. Now you know what is an eclipse, what is a full moon, what is a no moon, right? You know all these things. So in 5 days there will be a full moon, right? And what will happen when there is a full moon? You all know that when there is full moon there are high tides, right? So the water level will rise again. Okay, water level will rise again. Right now the ship is traveling through such a portion of the ocean which is very shallow. Right now the ship is passing through a very shallow portion. Why? Because there is not much water there. But in 5 days time the water level will again rise because of high tide, because of the full moon which will be there in 5 days time. I expect the water to rise high enough to float us again. Means again the ship will be able to work. Again the submarine will float once again. When the high moon will come. We shall leave at exactly 2:35. So Captain Nemo tells us about the plan. What is the plan? That they are going to leave exactly at 2:35. Ned Land became impatient. He wanted to go outside and take a look at the island. And I told you this thing before also, that Ned Land was very angry, right? He was very angry for some time right now. For 1 or 2 days, he has been very angry because he does not want to remain in the submarine anymore. He wants to go and explore the island. He wants to go to the island, explore that place. He wants to hunt some meat. Okay, in the previous video, I had told you these things, that Ned Land was very angry with with the captain. So Ned Land, I had told you, was very impatient. Ned Land was very angry and he wanted to hunt for food. He wanted to hunt for meat. To our surprise, Captain Nemo, go to page number 22, agreed. So right now Captain Nemo is agreeing with Ned Land. He knew that it was better to be a prisoner on board his ship than to be at the mercy of wild animals and people who lived there. We set sail in the dinghy armed with rifles. So actually, Captain Nemo knew that it would be better to remain on the submarine, okay, rather than to actually go in the island or to some other place where there might be a threat of wild animals, right? He knew that it would be better to stay in the ship, it would be better to stay in the submarine, it would be better to remain a prisoner, okay, inside the ship rather than go outside and get killed by some wild animal or by some poisonous snake or anything, okay, or other people can also kill, right? For example, the people who lives, the tribal people, the Adivasi people can also kill our group. So Captain Nemo knew all these things, he knew all the risks. We set sail in the dinghy armed with rifles. So dinghy is actually a small boat. What is the meaning of dinghy? It's a small boat, and the group took some rifles with them just for safety. It was exciting to set foot on land again after 2 months at sea. So finally, what happened is that it was such a nice experience, it was such an exciting experience, it was such a beautiful experience for the narrator to finally go to ground, finally go to a piece of land, to finally escape and get out of the submarine, okay, after a long period of 1 or 2 months. Finally the narrator and his group got the chance of getting out of the ship, of the submarine, and going outside. Okay, so this is a very nice opportunity, so it's a very welcome change as well. Ned could not contain his joy at being free at last and being able to hunt for meat. So Ned Land was overjoyed, he was very happy. Why? Because finally his wish came true. He wanted to get outside, he wanted to go and hunt. His wish finally came true. He could not actually contain his joy, he could not prevent himself from not doing anything. He actually wanted to explore the island at this point of time. He was so happy. He was waiting for this moment for a long time. We went back the following day too and explored until darkness began to fall. So next day, the group again went back, okay, to the piece of land and explored that island, explored that place till night time. What would you think, Ned asked, if I suggested that we never go back to Nautilus? So Ned proposed an idea at this point of time. Ned said that what will happen if we never go back to Nautilus? If we never go back to Nautilus again, what will happen? As he spoke, a stone fell amongst us, followed quickly by another. We jumped to our feet and raised our rifles as a group of Papuans with bows and arrows appeared at the edge of the forest. See, now a dangerous moment has come. Okay? So, as Ned Land and the narrator were talking with each other, what happened is that they felt that one stone, pathor, just hit them from the behind. Okay, someone threw a stone at them. Okay, so they were very surprised. They just raised their rifles, assault rifles which they were carrying, and they were actually very horrified to find that a group of Papuans are tribal people actually. Okay, who are these Papuans? Papua and Guinea, there is an island. Okay, Papua and New Guinea, there is actually an island. You can search it in Google. Okay, so these people, the Papuans, they had bows and arrows. Bows and arrows means what? Teeth dhanu. And they appeared at the edge of the forest, means at the boundary of the forest. These people were actually there. We managed to reach the boat safely, but as we pushed out to sea, there were more than 100 men screaming and shouting at the water's edge. So far, actually, the group managed to escape the situation. But when they went to the sea, they found that there were 100 people, even more than 100 people. They were shouting, they were abusing, they were insulting. They were all there on the water's boundary, and they were just insulting, shouting, abusing, brandishing their weapons. Just, they wanted to just, hunt. They wanted to kill the group. They wanted to kill the narrator. By the time we reached the Nautilus, the shore was silent and I went back to my cabin to sleep. So they went back to the Nautilus once again, right? The group went back to the Nautilus once again. Ned Land, narrator, went back to the ship once more. And after that, they found that there was nobody in the shore. In the shore, there was nobody. And the narrator went back to his cabin to sleep. The next morning, the next day, as the morning mist cleared, I saw the Papuans again. They were nearly all armed with bows and arrows and slings full of stones. So this is again those Papuans, those tribal people have come once again, right?